everyone, for all of my wonderful subscribers who have been sticking with me while I try to find my way through this. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for being patient. I've been guided to start doing some general tarot readings for the astrological signs, so I will do a video at some point as to why, but I'm going to go with the Western astrology, since that's where I was originally studied years ago. So today, because it is already into September, we are doing Virgo. So if your birthday is from August 24th through September 23rd, happy birthday if you've just had one. Happy birthday if one's coming up. That would make you a Virgo. I'm going to be starting with the Wisdom deck. It's a really beautiful deck, Hidden Realms. And we'll start with prayer, of course, as always. So please bear with me. I know it takes a few extra minutes, but just in my experience, it's a good idea, really makes things better. And I started to say once, if you look back at my other videos, if you're ever curious, about 3 minutes and something seconds in, I was commenting on other prayers or other ways of saying protection. A voice that was not my own commented, and you can hear it on video. So I still believe that other people are very gifted, talented readers. I've heard some other just the ways in which they protect their readings are wonderful for them. Apparently this is the one I'm supposed to use for me, so I will continue, and I hope you guys will all bear with me. Having said that, let me start. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the power and the kingdom and the glory forever and ever. Heavenly Father, please remove all stress, anxiety, negative thoughts from myself. Allow me to be an empty vessel, Heavenly Father, so that your messages might come through clearly the way that you want them to. Please give us the messages that Virgo needs for the first half of September. And we say this in the name of Jesus Christ, amen. Okay. Now, as I said, this is a general reading, but since a lot of us share the same energy, when we kind of feel in sync with somebody, if you're guided to my readings, you draw into them specifically, and there's more likely a message for you. I do encourage you to think about the questions that you might have, some of the stuff that's going on in your life right now, and how this stuff might pertain to you. I am not as up on my birth charts and astrology as should be, but I will say I'm going to get more into in-depth readings later, I hope. But if you are, again, if your birth date is from August 24th to September 23rd, that makes your sun sign Virgo. However, if you have Virgo placements in other parts of your chart, then that means that this reading may pertain to other parts of your life. The sun sign, your sun sign is what you show to the outside world, and I think of it as your external activities. So it can cover love, career, family matters, home matters, car matters. It can cover a multitude of things. However, it's going to be what you, not just what you see, but what the world sees, not necessarily the inner turmoil. Okay, so this does not mean for anyone that if you get a message that says everything is wonderful, but you still felt anxiety, still honor that. Trust your instincts on what to do versus any reader. Again, legal disclaimer, these readings are for entertainment purposes only, although I do believe in my readings and healing energy, and I'm a strong proponent of studying quantum physics and Reiki and healing, any kind of healing modality that will start teaching you about energy legally. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. If you have issues with that, any of those, any issue that needs professional assistance, go see a professional in that area. I am a Reiki master. That's my area of expertise. My day job is a manager. I can give advice there. Business, taxes, things I am trained in. You get my point. And the rest of my intros will not be so long-winded for any other signs that have peeked in on this. I'll tweak this as we go. So, Heavenly Father, angels, spirit guides, please give us, my Father, please give us any messages that we need to see for Virgo. I'm going to do 3 of the Wisdom Hidden Realms, and then I will clarify them. There's 2, both in the reverse. Oh, that's a pile and a half. Take them all. I won't necessarily read every one of them from the book. The first one we got was Fairness and Balance. In the reverse, the Keeper of Secrets. Sorry, I'm experimenting with ring light, and I'll have to experiment with where to not catch a glare. Okay, so for the Keeper of Secrets, number 38. The law of harmony is enacted when the keeper of the scales comes to you as an ally. Align with her, as the law states, making conscious choices that create balance in your life. When you do, you also magically align with the abundance of the universe and the powerful forces of synchronicity. This creates conditions and possibilities that lead to fulfillment of your highest intentions. Harmony begins with the self and then resonates outward towards others. You are in harmony with yourself when you nurture yourself with love, respect, and acceptance. Always fully taking responsibility for your actions. Only then can you be in harmony with others. This is because love is the central force that connects all life and aligns you with like-minded others. Another message is restoration and the positive fair resolution in all disputes, including those involving legal system or other important challenges. The keeper of the scales is a just and kind ally, always making sure balance is activated on your path. Challenger. Events are turning your life upside down. In reverse, we're getting the Challenger. So the first half of September, events are turning your life upside down, and you may be dizzy and confused. Are you feeling that life is unfair for you right now? Do you believe that others are getting ahead and leaving you behind? Could your ego be throwing things off? Your pride and self-centeredness may be weighing down the scales. Another message could pertain to the behavior of others throwing your life out of whack. Are you around all drama that causes you to become ungrounded or caught up in it? The keeper of the scales says that it's time to take a break. Do whatever is necessary to bring yourself back into balance. Let go of all the people, behaviors, or conditions that bring you into disharmony. You will be very grateful when balance is restored and you're off the roller coaster. Remember that what goes around comes around. Justice will be served one way or another, and harmony will be restored. Okay, so they're definitely talking about pride, ego, self-centeredness, forgetting the golden rule, doing unto others as we would have done unto us. But we're going to clarify. Is this for the Virgo, or is this for the Virgo relations, someone in your life? Because how you tackle that energy is going to be a little bit different, isn't it, Virgo? After all, if you're the one who is guilty of the ego, the pride, then you need to be a little bit more generous, a little bit more understanding. If it's someone else, you might need to set your boundaries, which can sometimes feel like ego and pride. And in my experience, Virgos have a tendency to go to one extreme or the other. Either they are extremely, shall I say, a pushover. It's not really a balance. I think that's their challenge in life, is learning to balance that out. And many of us have that challenge, but they go to the extremes. So they're either completely, everybody's walking all over them, they do nothing for themselves, or once they get fed up, they go to the complete opposite, and then it's all about them and there's no room for anybody else. So we're just gonna take a peek and see what you need to work on in the first half of September, because after all, the whole point of everything is to learn unconditional love, to learn balance, to learn compassion and harmony on this planet, right? Raising our vibration, which means we want to be in balance one way or the other. So, Heavenly Father, is this message about the Virgo themselves, or about someone in their vicinity that they need to set boundaries with? Please clarify, the Keeper of the Scales. Oops. Oh. We had a few fly out. Give me a second here. The Fool in reverse. And this card, and I've said this before in other videos, when I get different cards for the Fool, usually in a lot of the decks, let me see if I can fix that. In a lot of the decks, the Fool is a man that is hanging upside down on a, usually on a tree branch or something else, but he's connected by a rope. I can do something to make this better. Not really. Alright, we'll have to play with this another time. I'm so sorry about the glare. But what I'm trying to show you is this card. There's a reason I'm saying this. This card for me, there's two dragons, or two heads, one body. When I see this one, the Hangman in reverse on this one, or the Fool, okay, there's a reason I said the Hangman in reverse. The Fool card in this deck, when it comes up in reverse, to me comes up almost like the Hangman. The difference is the specifics of why. In the Hangman, someone's usually stuck there in their head. They're thinking, this card specifically, the Fool is usually in the upright, is about taking a leap of faith, moving forward, getting ready to jump in and do something, having complete faith in something, but among other things. But in this one, it strikes me as a cross between, well, it's more of a hangman energy when it's in the reverse for me, because even though they want to jump forward, they're of two minds. They're completely, like, it's opposites. It's cognitive dissonance at its best. Okay? And that was the one that hit the floor. And then we had these others two fly out. We have the Eight of Swords in reverse and the Star in reverse. So, unfortunately, this does not really tell me who this is for. It's both. Okay, so Virgos, a lot of you have just been coming out of a healing cycle where Eight of Swords is being stuck, feeling blindsided, feeling blind to something, feeling like you don't have enough information, you can't see something, but also feeling very trapped and stuck. Okay, the Star card is all about healing, and in reverse, it's not quite healed. You're not doing the healing. It's not working. I think we've got Virgos going on here at exactly that swing, that pendulum thing that I was talking about, where it's the extreme of being the doormat or not, and going completely the other way and saying, okay, well, I've been a doormat and I felt stuck and I didn't like it, but you haven't actually healed from it. You've gotten to mentally to the place where you're like, no more, I'm done. I'm getting out of this Eight of Swords energy. I'm not going to be stuck on this anymore. Whatever the situation is in your life from the first half of September. But you haven't actually healed yourself. You haven't actually asked, why were you being a doormat to these people? What was stopping you from just being in balance and having normal boundaries and saying, no, thank you, I can't right now to some things, but oh yes, I can on Tuesday. Or no, I don't want to do that to Susie, but being okay with doing something for Friday, right? And so you're swinging back and forth. You know that there are people in your life that need your assistance. You know that there are people that need your compassion, your love, your open-heartedness, but you're so tired of being taken advantage of and feeling stuck that you're completely back and forth in your head for the first week of September, or I'm going to stay out for the first week of September. So the first week of September for you, it's going to be really important for you to figure out that balance, for you to figure out, okay, where have I been stuck and why? When is it okay for me? Not anybody else, okay? We're going to take a little bit of that Virgo selfishness and hold on to it. This isn't about where it's okay for anyone around you. All right? Where is it okay for me? Where am I comfortable with opening up, being compassionate, helping, having that open heart space? And where do I need to pull back a little bit? And this week in September is going to be a little bit rocky as you figure that out. That's just kind of the energy I get, especially since you have not taken the time to do healing work for yourself before you're being called upon and asked upon to do other things still. Next, we have the word Lord in reverse. Communication, praise, and in reverse, dishonesty. Are they beautiful cards? Alright, so number 43. Now, I'm giving the numbers out loud because I do believe in numbers having meanings. And so these numbers may have some pertinence to you. Take them where they resonate. And for those of you who do not yet understand what that means, it means that if an energy feels right, if it feels like the truth to you, then learn from that, grow from that, take the messages you can from that. If it doesn't sound like this is your energy, just go ahead and leave it, and that's okay. If you like the reading, please go ahead and leave a comment in the description box below. Even if it's advice on how to do the ring light, give a like and subscribe if you can. Even if it's just to let me know someone out there is getting something. In the meantime, and that was purely selfish, not God. I'm so sorry, God. You know, we all have our doubts. Okay, the world Lord. The word Lord. The word Lord rules all communication of all kinds and lets you know that positive interactions can be expected when he arrives as your ally. He only speaks with positive words and praises all he sees. He reminds you of laws of abundance and praise. Okay, we're not going to read the book on this one because I'm getting something too strong. When I kept wanting to call this the world Lord, and it is, there's a very specific message that isn't about the book, although I will read, I'll read the challenger part in a second. But, okay. For Christians, you'll understand what I'm saying. And for actually several religions will understand what I'm saying from the mythos in this. And on a quantum physics level, any scientist will absolutely understand what I'm saying. Okay, so the world Lord is... Okay, I'm just going to say it like I'm getting it. Words have very specific powers. In that, on a quantum physics level, word has vibration, it has a frequency. So each word can affect your vibration and frequency as you're saying it, and the vibration and the frequency of other people around you. When combined, when that energy starts to gain momentum, it can actually affect and even change your reality and the reality of others. In a quantum physics level, if you want to get into the science of quantum entanglement, it can ripple out that way. If you want to get into the nitty-gritty of a close family, think of a parent who calls their child stupid all the time. That child's going to grow up thinking that they're stupid. The more you say something to a specific person, the more it sinks into the subconscious mind. And some words are so harsh that you only ever have to hear them once, and it never leaves your brain. Okay? Having said this, this is a reminder that you in your own world, Virgo, are a word Lord. You can have the sweetest tongue in the whole world, or you can have a sword-like tongue, a very biting tongue, and a tongue that affects things in a very negative way. And you need to be careful the first week of September, because as you're trying to figure out, this isn't about cutting people off, but you do have a tendency sometimes, without meaning to cut people down. Okay? So, and sometimes meaning to. We all do. Okay, we're just gonna across the board it. No one is not guilty of saying the wrong thing at some point. So this is not me calling you out, but me explaining to you, you have a gift for it in a way that not every other sign does.
it's because you are very sharp-minded. You have a very quick mind. Like, you can think of stuff right off the top. You can hit someone's buttons really fast because you're highly intelligent. But the universe is calling upon you to use that intelligence wisely, because if you're in this mode, we're going to read the challenge before we read before I pull the clarifier cards. So the challenger for this: when the word Lord appears as your challenger, he gently warns of untruths, denials, and unsupportive thoughts. The words in any area of your life. If you've been dishonest in any way, it's time to make amends. Change your tune, otherwise your impact on the world will not be as effective as you would like. Even if you were to be successful as an immediate result, there would be a price to pay later. If others are being unsupportive towards you, know that it is them, not you. Don't take this world personally. Remember that you don't have to engage others when they project their own fears and negativity onto you. Another message here is about how you speak about yourself. Do you say self-depreciating words? Do you minimize yourself so as not to intimidate others? Do you refer to yourself as less than beautiful? Time to change those unconscious statements now. It is not difficult to change things, as we are always given a choice to make new decisions. As long as you remain positive and supportive, the rest will quickly melt away until all you perceive is the highest good for all. All you need is a desire to change and be positive. The word Lord will help you win the game of life. Okay, so that was a reminder about talking to self, but I am going to pull a clarifier on that. The message I got was pretty strong. In this instance, it's definitely more about how you're speaking to others the first half of September, and it's just a note to be careful. Again, it's that pendulum swing. I get the feeling, I'm going to pull cards on this, but I get the feeling that there's like a specific Virgo or two that I'm speaking to that has had someone really pushing their buttons, taking advantage of them, not being grateful, not showing appreciation, just really pushing the envelope. And you want to cut them off. On the one hand, you know that they do need help, but on the other hand, they have been so lacking in gratitude that you're just fed the F up. Sorry about the F word, God. You're just done. That's the energy I feel. It's just like I'm done, but at the same time, maybe I'm not. I know they need help. Maybe I should help them just a little bit more. Just remember that balance is the key. Even if it's just one person, you can say no sometimes and not necessarily others. And if they push back, if they don't like it, and a lot of people don't when we say no, especially if they're used to us saying yes all the time, just try your best to remember, be honest, be fair, but you don't necessarily have to cut to the quick. Okay? The card that came out was the Six of Wands. This person that we're talking about, he has been taking advantage of you. You can tell him no. Just do so gently. He can stand on his own. I get the sense that he's capable. I think that he comes to you more out of, and for some Virgos, this is going to be a female, okay, because it's going to be an energy that's in your life for the first half of September, okay. But for the ones where I said I was talking specifically to you because you're at risk of saying something very cutting because this person's been pushing you to the envelope. I get the feeling of like there's two people who have men that are doing this in their life. One is a childlike energy. The other one has a significant other energy. And then there's one that has a female energy. Okay? But this holds true all three of those energies. Less of the female though. She's still wobbly on her feet. But the male energies, they can stand on their own. They're capable, they're strong. They've been coming to you. Not it does. I know it seems like they're taking advantage. I know that they're and for everybody else, okay? When I'm saying this, if you don't immediately resonate in your heart and you're like, oh, that's Bobby Lusosoro. Yes, I just made that crappy name up, okay? If that isn't, if the name doesn't immediately pop into your heart, like, oh, okay, that is this person, then take this as the general energy for the first part of September. It just means that it's time. This is going to be about a time for balancing for Virgos. It's going to be about learning to, when to say no and when to say yes, when to show compassion, and when it's okay to just pull yourself in and rest and take care of you. And that it's okay to take care of you. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with saying, no, thank you, I'm not available. I'm doing my nails. I'm doing my hair. I'm doing whatever the heck I want. Okay? It's okay. But for a specific few of you, there are at least 3 Virgos in this group that will see this at some point in the future. And remember, these readings are timeless. So you may come across this in 2 years from now and just now be going through this cycle of your life, this energy, okay? It may be that you'll come across this 2 months from now, and that will be when it's important. But right now, what I'm sensing is there's at least 3 Virgos that really need to hear this. 2 that have men in their lives, like I said, 1 childlike, 1 significant other like, and 1 female. Female is still shaking on her feet. I may need a little bit more help still. The 2 men, they're ready to stand on their own, but they may need to be transitioned. They are still coming to you, not out of a sense of, oh, she always does this, therefore I'm going to go to her, but out of a sense of there is like a hidden vulnerability. I feel like almost like one of these men is choking on tears. Like they're very strong, they're very capable, they're acting outwardly to the world like everything is fine, but internally they are not quite okay yet. So a tongue lashing could be their undoing, and then they won't be capable. You see what I'm saying? You have the ability to change someone else's life this month. And then again, you might have to say, no, I don't have that, but maybe I could be here for you in this way. Maybe I could just be a friend. Maybe I could just listen to you. Maybe I could just help you that way. However it is that your intuition tells you to deal with these, just remember to be compassionate. Remember to be kind. We're all learning. We're all growing. Yes, boundaries are wonderful, but we need to make sure that we do so in a kind and compassionate way, just as we would want someone to do with us. Okay. That last one, I hope this is working still. I just accidentally hit my earpiece, which I'm experimenting with, so if this just got quieter, please let me know in the comments below. I will also try to adjust these things as I go. These are the ones that came out in this order. If you've seen my readings before, you know that I take the top one as kind of whatever guidance or message I'm getting, and these are the causes, the roots, whatever's making this happening. So we have the resting tree. The advice for the first half of September is to rest and relax. I'll read that one in a minute. I will not read all of these from the book. I will give you the numbers though. But the reason that you are being told to rest and relax in September, we have the altar priestess, preparation, prayer, sacred ritual. So this is something that you need to be focused on in the first half of September. Okay. The spirit whisper, divine guidance, higher knowing. So again, connecting to your higher self, meditation, going within. As you go within, the rest of this will be clear, or clearer as to who you need to say no to, where you should be saying yes, where your compassion needs to be given. The web weaver, synchronicity, divine intelligence, cause and effect. With this one, I get really strongly that there's also kind of a message about taking some time the first half of September as you're learning to balance, as you're trying to set your boundaries and hopefully do it in a balanced way, to look back on the past and see where have your efforts been beneficial and where have they been maybe fallen by the wayside. And yes, you could look at things and say, oh, when I screamed at X, Y, and Z person, that worked. They left me alone. Well, of course, if you scream at somebody, they're going to leave you alone. But what it's calling upon you to do, again, is divine intelligence. And when we're talking about divine energy, divine intelligence, we're talking about how do we share our light? How do we allow our divinity, however you want to describe that? Ooh, sorry, moth. However you want to describe that with those around us. How do we express the divinity within us? I'm also really drawn to the word synchronicity for you in September. I'm being told for all of September, watch for synchronicities. The more you meditate, the more you go within, the more you'll start to see the synchronicities around you if you're paying attention. There will be blessings in those. Heavenly Father is not being specific, but there will be blessings in those. And so I will go ahead and read the resting tree, which is, I promised you I'd give you the numbers. Let's see. So the resting tree is number 22. That's a master number. Mirroring. The number 4, which is the number of stability. The number 3, the Trinity. And the number 39. Okay. So the resting tree, number 22, says, the resting tree is a sign for you to stop focusing and planning and to be at peace in the moment. This is the representative of non-action and relaxation. Patience is the key to being with this ally. The resting tree asks you to slow down, sit back, and watch the roses bloom and the birds feed in the meadow. This isn't the time to forge ahead in any way. You may not be taking enough breaks, so you're invited to be still and contemplate your good fortune, even if it means blessing the chaos in your life. This is a sign to allow everything to fall away except the stillness of the moment. It is like living within the space between breaths. When the resting tree appears, it signals that you have done all you can for now and it's time to unwind and allow your story to unfold of its own accord. You've earned the right to rest and relax. Amazing ideas will come if you do. Remember the ancient saying, we do without doing and everything gets done. Okay. Heavenly Father, give me a clarifier on this synchronicity, please. And of course, any other messages that you have. That's a lot, God. King of Wands in reverse. Two of Swords in reverse. And the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. I am, if you've watched any other tarot readers, if you've seen some of my other videos, if you've ever watched anything with divine masculine, divine feminine, and this is not a divine masculine, divine feminine reading, but there is a really important thing that some readers will acknowledge or notate, that when they're talking about the divine feminine energy and the divine masculine energy, there is both the real version, in other words, I'm divine feminine, he's the divine masculine, or vice versa, and it gets into a whole complicated mess. But from an energetic standpoint, you can also be talking about the same energy within you. We all hold yin and yang energy, masculine and feminine. And we all live our best lives when those are balanced. When we have the right amount of yin and the right amount of yang. Okay? The right amount of feminine and the right amount of masculine. And it's my opinion that balance does not mean half and half within one person. Me being a female, and I am a feminine female for the most part, I'm typically at my best when I have just a little bit more of that feminine energy going on than I do the masculine. I can hold the masculine energy, I can work really hard, I can lift things when I need to, but I'm at my best, I feel my healthiest when I have a little bit more of that feminine energy going on, when I'm able to release some of the burden. Yeah, that's a good way to put it right now. Some of the burden of the masculine energy, because it's a heavy weight when you don't have time to do feminine things. For me, and this is a balancing act I'm learning right now, okay? And the reason that this is important is because what I'm getting here is both a message for the people I was talking about earlier that have the specific masculines in their thing, and the feminine. The female, she needs to be balancing more into her masculine, okay? For everybody else, again, when I held up that masculine card, this one, when I said this person can stand on their own 2 feet, but they keep asking you for help, but what they really want is your attention. Yes, they could go and do it themselves. What they really want is your attention. Okay? When so-and-so popped into your mind immediately, these cards will have that specific message. For everyone else, this is going to be a general energy about balancing that in yourself, the yin and the yang, in whichever way that is. If you're a male Virgo, or you associate with male, okay, you can have masculine, you can feel more masculine in a feminine body and feel more feminine in a masculine body. But if you're balancing that out, okay, then this message is going to be for you. If you have that specific person pop into mind, then this is more about them, okay? So I have the King of Wands in reverse. Again, this is going to be the specific male. So this is a man who is normally very charismatic, normally very outgoing, and they're not feeling that way right now, okay? 2 of Swords in reverse. Choices to be made. Again, for the general, this is going to be about a lack of confidence, not feeling as outgoing as you usually do, not feeling like, connecting with everyone the way you usually do. But for those of you dealing with that specific person, and the reason that this works this way is because if we can learn this lesson internally through dreams, through meditation, through just a normal process, and we can learn it quickly, then we often do. Or if we've already passed this actual, we've already had this go on in our life, but we just need a little reminder, we just need to tweak it inside of ourselves, then the 3D person won't be popping up. That won't be part of it. But if we haven't balanced it within ourselves, and we can't seem to do it just by meditating, taking time out, praying, and we need like an in your face kind of thing, then these are the lessons that come to us that strain us and put the weight on us and get us to the point where we have to say, okay, enough is enough. All right? Or maybe it's not enough with these people. As I said, the two men here, too much of a lashing is going to make them break. And the female, she really isn't ready. So if it's internal, you're talking about your own self-doubts, your own wanting to go within, your own wanting to be on your own, not to want to be around other people. If this is the the man or even that female, it's them feeling a lack of confidence, okay? And so it's then you learning that lesson through watching the mirror of someone else, seeing in them, or allowing yourself to see in them, being compassionate, what you know that you have felt in the past or right now, okay? And then finding a balance between helping them and taking care of you. Two of Swords, again, that's about the decision. Somebody needs to make a decision, but they can't make a decision, or they did not make a decision. The female feels like a decision was made for her. And it wasn't the one she wanted. That's because she didn't make a decision. So it was made for her. And now she's not happy. And it was not a good decision for her. So she's learning all of this with you. Whoever you are, Virgo. You may have another Virgo that's coming to you for help. These masculines, the two that I was picking up strongly energy from, they have decisions to make. And they haven't told people about them. They might tell you in the course of coming to you, but that is affecting why ever they're coming to you. And the last one was Four of Pentacles in reverse. They're having some synchronicities is going to be really important for this one, especially for all the Virgos that do not have the specific people coming to them. Okay, watch for the synchronicities, because those of you that have been trying to make decisions between two careers, two cars, there's a lot of stuff about decisions in here for the Virgos in the first 2 weeks of September. Something to do with, and some of you it will drag on to the 30th of September, depending on how well you notice the synchronicities. There seems to be, it's almost like learning to trust your instincts in a less volatile area, a less emotional area, so that you can gain the confidence to trust your instincts when it comes to when to cut people off, when not to, who needs help, who doesn't. It's like little practices in discernment. And so the universe has been throwing people these decisions. Okay, so it might be 2 different cars, 2 different mechanics, 2 different houses, 2 different jobs. Whatever it is, it won't be, your choices aren't going to be more than 3 really good choices. A lot of you will only have 2. They're not making it too hard right now. Or the universe is not trying to make that's particular. It's going to be, and if you pass one, you might get several practices in September. So it may seem like a very bumpy month. It might be like, okay, something small breaks on the car and you've got to pick between 2 mechanics. Something goes wrong in the house and you have to pick between 2 plumbers or 2 construction workers or 2 whatever. And it might be a bunch of little things as you get to practice your instincts, as you get to practice your discernment, practice talking to people. So you're practicing with people that are less connected to your heart space, less connected to your inner circle, less connected to your everyday world before something blows up with somebody close to you. It seems rough, but it's so that you can gain the skills that you need to gain before you end up straining relationships you don't really want to strain. Okay? And the 4 of Pentacles, this person, this is going to be, and this is, the 4 of Pentacles is, I don't usually see that as a, as much of a stingy card. It's like the budding seeds of something. It's when you don't quite have enough, but it's the start of stuff. And this one in particular, dragons, mythologically speaking, are known for guarding treasure. Okay? This being upside down, September's kind of gonna feel a little bit like you can't get that treasure. Like whatever, like let's say you have a goal of you save $100 a month, you put $100 a month in savings. September may not be the way that it may not make it this month. Excuse me. Just because of all of these little things that are going to add up. But think of it as an investment in yourself. And try to put that positive spin on it. Try to put that let me put it this way. Discernment is really hard to learn. Okay? And it can take people years and years and years and years and years. For whatever is coming up, you're getting a mini crash course. You could not pay enough money to learn this in any school. You won't be taught there. So the little financial difficulties that you're going to have come up in September, just think of them as paying into life's lessons. And know that there is a dragon guarding your treasure. This is not going to go on. It's just going to be through September. As long as you kind of keep practicing, and I shouldn't say it's only going to go on in September. You know, we all have life lessons that come up and over again when we have to repractice. But as you're getting through this, it's not going to be forever. And I strongly do feel like, anything big, anything huge is being protected. This is going to be little things. It's going to be little setbacks. If anything too big happens, just make sure you pray about it. Or send a thought to the universe if you're not, if you're not religious. And set your intention to, this is my limit. This is like, I need some help here or here or here. But it's going to be a few little things. I don't see it being, I really don't see it being many, like more than, say, 3 things this month. And they're good. I see them being fairly small. But it's just little practice sessions so that you can use your discernment, so that you can practice, setting boundaries before it comes to a head with someone else. And if these people have been coming to you, especially those people that are not, where this is not an internal thing, if they've been coming to you a whole lot, it could get kind of rough. And you may want to come to a head really fast. I can literally feel some of the Virgos like wanting to just light into somebody, 20-minute guilt trip that cuts them down to size, and you do it. They're cut down to size, but in a very detrimental way, and a detrimental way to the relationship. So the advice for this month, for the first half of September, is to use compassion. Go within, think before you speak. Just make sure that you're setting your boundaries for yourself and taking care of yourself. But make sure that you set them gently. And I don't mean gently as in pushover. I mean just firmly, but from the heart space. Use gentle words. You can say no 100 different ways. And can't see without my glasses, but we're close to an hour. And Virgos, don't go telling everybody that I give hour readings for every one of these. It's not my intent. Hopefully some of them will be shorter. I do hope that I can get through a few more tonight. And I feel compelled to say, I love you, Virgos. I have a very special Virgo in my life. An amazing, amazing person. And I know that this lesson that you're about to go through is not an easy one. I have watched my Virgo go through it, and not easy. But you'll come out on the other side so much healthier and so much better. So trust yourself, trust the universe, take time for yourself, go within, and God willing, I will do another Virgo reading and see you in 2 weeks. Again, please hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help, not just with the algorithms, because that's kind of more for monetary stuff, and I'm not too concerned about that, but it does let me know that the hour that I just spent here did some good, even if it's just one person. So even if only one person sees this video and it helped that one person, that's all I need to know to keep going. So I love you guys. Have a good night.